Good Erev Shabbos, everybody. Today we celebrated Jeremy Tarzik's bar mitzvah. These COVID bar mitzvahs are amazing. I think all these COVID parties, the weddings, the bar mitzvahs, they're really very special and memorable. And whereas a lot of times you have bar mitzvahs or weddings, and people don't remember them because of all the other bar and bar mitzvahs and weddings that they go to. But the COVID ones, there's something special about it. The families always try to make it really special, and everybody's going to remember this was special in the tent. It was different. And I thought the venue was perfect for Jeremy. He's such a sweet and unassuming child that's really a very smart kid and very unassuming. And I thought the venue fit him well, and he was able to lane for Rosh Chodesh today. So really, Mazel Tov to the Tarzik family. You know, in this week's parsha, it tells us Shoftim v'Shotrim that we were commanded as a nation, or to machlokas, there's a whole question of whether it was commanded to the judges themselves or to the nation. So we have to appoint judges, and the halacha and the Torah tells us that these judges have to be people who aren't going to be compromised by public opinion. So the Torah tells us straight out that that they're not allowed to devlo tikach shochad ki shochad yaverch einei chachamim bisalef divrei tzadikim. That they're not allowed to trade bribes, and those bribes are even public opinion bribes that they want to keep their position. You know, throughout history, if you look at leaders, it's very hard for leaders to not bend to public opinion, even if things are really wrong. And to such a degree, if you look at, for instance, the king Shaul, Shaul was, when did he become miserable? When after David kills Goliath, so he falls in love with David. David becomes a member of his family, and then the Tanakh tells us that all of a sudden people were singing, "Oh, Shaul kills thousands, but David kills 10,000s," and they were singing the praises of David. And instead of helping David, instead of wanting the best for David and trying to bring him along, not and feeling secure in his own position, so Shaul ends up coming after David, and he becomes depressed by it. It's not only that; it's throughout the Tanakh. You see Shaul become depressed or come out against other leaders, Shmuel and others who wanted to only just help Shaul be successful. But because he was so worried about that they may like them more than me, or feeling uncomfortable with themselves, so they fell apart. And it's not only in the Jewish world. If you look in Roman history throughout the kingships, in any kingships, there was a king even named Commodus. Who was he? He was Marcus Aurelius's son. Marcus Aurelius is one of the most popular best emperors that Rome ever had, and he had a son, one single son named Commodus. And Commodus went to the degree where he actually became a gladiator. He actually fought in the Gladiator. So if people saw the movie The Gladiator, that was trying to play off Commodus, who actually went in to became, and eventually gets killed actually by a gladiator, but not in the arena. He had that fixed in the arena so that he shouldn't die. But he was so worried about his public opinion on himself and what people thought. He had all these statues. They all did. Many of the Roman emperors had statues on them, and so they were so insecure of their own position. So it tells us in this week's parsha that you can't be insecure. That you should they have to. So what's the role of the judge? The judge has to be like an umpire in the game. Two people have a dispute, and they have to come in. It's not about them. It's not about the judge themselves. That they're doing is trying to bring peace between different parties. That's the role of the judge, like an umpire. They have to bring peace to make sure that the game is played safely and fairly by the two sides. And you definitely see that within also the Tarzik family. They're all unassuming, but they make sure that things run and make sure that other people are successful. If you see Sean works at Kushner, and Ari all the time is behind the scenes. They're behind the scenes. They make things happen and make things run. And Jeremy has that same type of personality to do that. And that's really something special. That's something that we don't push aside. It's not about being in the public eye. It's about being the one who helps the world become a better place. we definitely see that within the Tarzik, and we see that that's really what the Torah is telling the judges to do. So on that message, I wish Mazel Tov to the Tarzik family, and we also wish you a great Shabbos.